Welcome to the Pop-Off with Gene FitzMagic and friends. Your daily sports and entertainment radio show, live all over the world. You're going to want to hear what these guys have to say. With their hot takes, recaps, previews, and predictions, sometimes these guys might get along, but most times, they won't. So see what happens when these guys pop off about the world of sports and entertainment.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pop-Off. Gene FitzMagic, Caleb Pinkett, Nigel Downer. It's going to be the last of our NFL predictions segments. How are you guys feeling about the season coming up? You guys excited or what?
Yeah, it should be great. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can't wait. When your team is the NFC, the almost lock NFC Championship team, it's always great to start the season.
Well,
agreed, Judge?
No.
What do you? Of course it is. Come on.
No,
come on.
Because that puts all the pressure. It puts all the pressure in the world on them. So you know what I mean? Like you got it's like being a fighter and you're fighting somebody that they're the underdog 700 points. It's like, okay, that's a lot of pressure because you're supposed to. So you don't gain anything. So if you win, it's like, duh, you're supposed to. And if you lose, it's
end of the world.
Right? So that's the same thing with the Eagles. It's like if they win, if they don't gain anything, it's like, yeah, so we knew that. That's what you're supposed to do. And if they lose, oh my God. Oh, so you don't want that. You always want to be just right there in the middle where it's like, okay, like the Jets got all of it. It's worse for them. They don't do anything. Oh my God.
We need to
win
at least one.
You want to be Dallas. You want to be Dallas. Just your fans think you're going to do something.
Yeah.
But nobody else thinks so. Right?
Yeah. Facts.
We'll talk about a little bit what we think they're going to do this year because we're going to talk our NFC predictions. I love the hat, Nige. Can I guess why you're wearing it?
Yeah, go on and get it.
Does it have anything to do with the shout out for Canada winning in the FIBA?
Yeah, bro. That's exactly what it has to do. Listen, shout out to Canada. Gene knows what's up. The Canada's men's national basketball team had played a phenomenal basketball. Listen, man. We recommend games, and we've been doing it on the wire. So please listen to us when we say watch these games. The women's FIFA final was amazing. Spain and England. Shout out to Spain for winning that. This semifinal for this World Basketball Championship has been bananas. Or the playoff run, man. Like Canada beat Spain, which ranked number one. Wait, was it Spain? Yeah, it was Spain, who's ranked number one in the world for basketball, believe it or not. A lot of people are shocked by that, no doubt, but that's because we all think it kind of revolves around the NBA, right? But they have a couple NBA players. But, Canada ended up winning. It went into the dire seconds of the game. So right here, I'm wearing my mashup, which is the all black, but it's a Canadian flag, as you can see, but it's the maple leaf is now switched to the Toronto Raptors logo. Got that nice big threaded Toronto's logo on the side there. It's a fullback as per usual with the NBA logo at the back. Then you got the New Era flag, which you always usually do on that left side. The underbrim, boom, kicking it with the red. This was maybe one of the hats that started it all for me. This might have been the one because I've had this for a very long time. Really? Yeah, and it was very outside of my comfort zone at the time when I bought it.
So we got a hat history lesson.
Yeah, you did. Today. Yeah, and this is like years old, years on years old.
And just as happy as your team that your team won, the U.S. men's basketball team lost to Lithuania.
Yeah, that was huge.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Ouch.
That did it. Yeah, that did it. You guys got slapped by Lithuania too. So but I think you just put a slap on not only more than like half hour ago, just now. I think you beat somebody. I can't remember. Was it Spain?
Yeah.
No. Really?
I think it was Spain.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
It's like because Lithuania was killing them, and then they ended up losing by like 6, right? Like they tried to come back, but again,
they're trying to make a comeback.
Like you losing to Lithuania, but Lithuania can play. It's like these teams, they playing as a team. Those guys don't play as a team. They're trying to, you know what I mean? But hey, they lost and Canada won, so there's that.
Well, Canada's got a squad nowadays, and they don't even have some of their best players playing right now. Murray's not even on the team right now, so they're hoping to get him for the Olympics.
Which I want to give a huge shout out, a high five, and a fist bump, and a dap to Caleb because Caleb had questioned had questioned the Canada's men roster specifically with Murray, because what you had wondered is if Murray was actually going to play because of not only the extended NBA run, end up winning a title, but his injury. Is he going to be able to make it? He was announced to be on the team. They had the photo shoot, they had a whole thing. And then he was like a very late last minute scratch for that very reason that you called out. It's like, listen, the guy had just played months on months. Can he play at world level like a month and a half after winning a championship? The answer is no.
Yeah.
So good call on that one.
Somebody else said too that's not playing that they said will probably be there for the Olympics. I'm blanking on who it was. But another big name that you guys have. You guys have big names all over.
Yeah. SGA's up in there. Oh, side note, USA beat Italy. It was 100-63.
Oh, Italy. That's
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Italy. And then Canada plays tomorrow morning at something stupid like 8:30 a.m. Eastern time against Slovenia. Yes, Slovenia.
There we go.
So
good luck to the.
Yeah, no, that's the quarterfinals.
Quarterfinals.
But that just what it did was it just gave us the bid into the Olympics.
Is FIBA? Is it because I don't really follow it too much? I mean, I see it because it's on the news because it's basketball. You know how it is in America.
Yeah.
But is it single game? It's obviously double game elimination instead of single, or does it like because they lost
round robin?
They can't play for the championship. Is it like that? They can only get third.
Right. So the preliminary is all the group play, like usually, you play every team in your division once or whatever. And then out of that, you have your qualifying rounds, your semifinals and stuff. And then it goes into, you have your quarterfinals, semis, championship, one loss, one and done. Oh, wait, I think it's a little bit different. I think it's like a little bit more of a tournament type, like bracket. It's very bizarre to me because I just thought if it was one and done, if you lost, then you're out. But but no, I think it's once you get into the quarterfinals now, it's boom. So there's like a level in between the quarters and after the
it's like a round robin kind of.
But so it's more like Little League, like so they can't. So the American team can't play for the championship. The highest they could get is third.
I think so. I believe you're right. Yeah.
I think so.
Okay,
right.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, you guys already talked some NFL. We're gonna do our final predictions for the season. Wudi's not here. He's on baby duty, so he'll be back on Thursday, hopefully.
Yeah.
But we shot him out. But let's start with the NFC East. Caleb, what's your predictions for the NFC East? What do you got? Who you got coming first, second, third, and fourth in the NFC East?
I think it doesn't change. I think it's definitely Philly and Dallas for the top two spots. Dallas in number 2. And then it's the Giants and Commanders. I want to give the Commanders some love, but I don't know. So I think I'm going to lean towards the New York G-Men, New York Football Giants to take the third, with the Commanders a close fourth. But those two could swap. I highly doubt the first 2 spots will swap outside of each other. So what I mean is Dallas could be number 1 and Philly could be number 2, right? But I don't think Dallas or Philly goes to third or fourth, that type of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because, injuries can happen, any fumble at a game, like any sort of thing that could switch those two, but I don't think neither one of them goes to third or fourth.
I have it the same exact way. I have Philly first, Dallas second, Giants third, but just edging out a tough Washington team this year. Yeah, that do I think the Giants are going to make the playoffs? No, I got Philly and Dallas making the playoffs out of this division. Yeah, but I got Philly, Dallas, and I think Dallas is going to be tough. I think Dallas is going to keep it close. It's not going to be a runaway for Philly
because they got a really good defense. Their only issue
sensational defense.
Right. They're only on paper. Right, so
they got to play the games.
Goes. But on paper, they look phenomenal. Top 5 defense in the entire NFL, and it's just a question mark with their quarterback. Now that he has pressure from Trey Lance.
Well, we'll talk a little bit on Thursday about Dak's future as we all try to contain our.
I'm joking because I'm like, there's no way in hell Trey Lance is taking Dak Prescott's spot. He's obviously not ready. Like, I don't know what this move from Jerry Jones was. Like if it was to put pressure on Dak, I don't think it does because it's like really.
It's not. It wasn't the guy to put pressure on him. No, he should have brought in somebody like a Garoppolo or someone otherwise.
Or is it the future? Because Mike is supposedly good with quarterbacks. Do you think he could? Train up Trey Lance to when Dak is done in the next few seasons. Because I don't think if Dak doesn't win a Super Bowl, I think Dallas gets rid of him in the next 3 seasons.
Wait, hold on. Dallas is not going to win. Dallas is not going to win.
No, I'm saying that's how Jerry Jones is looking at it.
Right.
Like
right.
he wants a chip. Like he's not playing. Like he's going to get rid of Dak. That's what I'm saying.
But save the Dak talk for Thursday because that's one of our topics on Thursday. We're going to talk a little bit about Dak's future. So I digress. I bring it to Nigel. Nigel, what's your prediction for the NFC East?
You know, some may zig, and I'm going to zag on them. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to step in line. Philly 1, Dallas 2. I think, and I know there's a lot of weird Commanders hype, and we all kind of been like on this Commanders train, like look out for them, because they did prove a little bit of themselves last season and the seasons before, a couple seasons before. I think it's going to go Philly, Dallas, Commanders, then the New York Football Giants. I feel like the New York Football Giants might fall apart a little bit this year. I don't know what it is. I think with that 1 year Saquon signing, it's going to be, we had mentioned, individuals playing basketball. I think he's going to be an individual playing football. He'll adhere to the system. He'll still get his yards. But I feel like every time the camera gets on him after they walk off the field, whether it's a win or loss, he's going to be still stoic. He's just going to be go right to the locker room and we just won't hear from him. You know what I mean? He's just doing his own thing. I just feel like again, to you guys' point, I think it'll be close between the two of them. New York 9-7-1 last year. Commanders 8-8-1 last year. So I think we can just swap those records. But I think the Commanders are going to win out.
All right. And who do you have making the playoffs out of this division?
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be the Eagles for sure. I'll say Dallas for the joke of it because we all know that they're not going to make it past round 1. But I
don't know. This year might be different. They got that defense.
Shut up, man. Get out of here.
You never know. I'm just saying.
Listen, they're not the Ravens defense, and even the Ravens. Ray Lewis used to tell the quarterback, "Just get us 10 points, and we won't lose."
That's a good point.
Dak, that's not happening with their defense, and Dak damn sure can't promise that. He could promise more interceptions. I tell you that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So it's gonna be interesting. You know what I mean? Like to see what ends up happening. Because again, with football, that's why we watch it. Anything can happen. All these predictions could change like that. Imagine if the New York Football Giants beat Dallas on Sunday night. What? Like that changes all the predictions. They're going to want to say, the people are going to say, start Trey Lance now. I mean, it's going to be
Mike McCarthy's seat is insanely hot at that point.
Could you imagine that world? The world that's like, yo, start Trey, like immediately they just like catching fire. That's amazing.
And it's going to be crazy because I know Dallas is going to be hyped. They're going to want to show like what they can do because they got a lot of hype this season. So they're going to be prepared for that game and they're going to want to smash. But just imagine if they did it. Just, like just what would happen, again, the underdogs type thing. You got everything to lose and nothing really to gain.
Exactly. Exactly. So let's bring this over to the West, NFC West. This to me is an easy division to call. I got San Francisco 49ers coming in first, Seattle coming in second, LA coming in third, Arizona coming in fourth. I would be surprised if any of us have any zags on that.
I'm
not disagreeing at all. That's exactly
to me, it's the easiest division to call in the whole league, I think, is this one here.
Yeah.
Because the 49ers are all world. Seattle's pretty good. LA's pretty bad. And Arizona who is pretty much what I'm thinking. So now I only have one of these teams making the playoffs. I have Seattle missing the playoffs. I only have the San Francisco 49ers making the playoffs out of this group. And Nigel, do you have the same standings?
Yeah, I have the same. Yeah, I'm not even gonna front. I'm not gonna joke around. Like this one is just very cut and dry. Sometimes you don't need to set up for a blow line. This division is its own blow line. You know what I mean? It's its own joke, so it's fine.
Yeah. It's exactly what it is. Now, do you guys have anybody other than just the 49ers making the playoffs?
Seattle might, depending on if somebody slips in other divisions in the NFC. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I don't see them getting in. If everybody does what they're supposed to do in their division, there won't be any spots left.
That's my thing is Seattle will have a winning record. I just don't think they're gonna have enough wins to carry them into the playoffs. I think maybe, I can see them going 9-8. I don't see that being enough. I feel like Dallas is gonna have 11-12 wins. And we'll talk about the other teams too, but I just don't see them actually being able to pull off the division. All right, so let's go over to the NFC North, and we'll start with Nigel, since this is your well, it's not really your division, but I feel like you're up in the North since you're in Canada. So we'll start with you. What's your NFC North predictions?
That's amazing. Not accurate at all, but so amazing.
Geographically kind of correct.
Yeah, okay. Sure. I understand what you're saying. I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Minnesota 1. Oh, man. Who knows if this is a zig or a zag or a zop? Who knows what this is? I'm going to go Minnesota 1. I'm going to Green Bay 2. Detroit 3. Bears 4. Yeah. Listen, just over the last couple weeks and just listening and watching, and I know it's preseason, but this is what Caleb said. This is, hey, everybody just chill out. This is just us having a bunch of fun and just picking and just all in jest, because it's preseason. You never know. And the thing that we love about the game is that it can change so rapidly. And I feel like the Green Bay, I feel like Love is going to do something, man. I feel like something's going to happen, and Green Bay is just going to edge out Detroit, and Detroit's going to flounder just a little bit. I mean, everybody's on board with the Detroit train. So am I. But I feel like the Lions might slip. So, and Minnesota takes it out. Just they're going to be the lone wolf for the playoffs in this division.
See, now I got to be honest. I'm way different than you. Before I give mine, let's go to Caleb's first. Caleb, what do you have for the NFC North? Are you different too? Because I'm way different.
I'm taking. I think I do believe that. I do believe that Minnesota will win the division, right? And that's a little weird because they just feel like they will.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come down between Love and Goff. Who's the better quarterback? Now, Love has the advantage. He has the better team all around and the better defense, right? But Detroit's not too far behind on the defensive side and their offense. Now I'm going to get into the idea of emotion and feeling. Detroit thinks it's their year. They really believe it. There's just an energy around the team.
There is an energy.
Dude, the team, the facility, the fans.
So they're everybody amped to play, right? And we're going to see what Green Bay is like. What they're trying to do is not just get obliterated, to not lose, right? Love looked good in preseason, but preseason is preseason. So it's going to be interesting, but I'm going to lean slightly towards Detroit just because I want to see them do something. It's just it's been so long that they've just been bad. And last year they did all right. It's now I want to see them actually step up, and they have a shot now. Right, because Jordan Love is the new quarterback. But if Jordan Love does what he did in preseason, Green Bay takes number 2. They might even surpass number 1 because Kirk Cousins is on and off too. But he's got Justin Jefferson out there. I mean, you know what I mean. So that's a whole different thing. So I'm gonna go with Minnesota 1. I'm gonna pull Detroit 2 only with my heart, not my mind. Green Bay number 3. And then Chicago. But again, don't sleep on them Bears. I really, 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 I like their offense. I think I don't know. I think Chicago's gonna surprise people. I think they still may come in fourth, but it's gonna be a stronger fourth. And then their next season, people are gonna be like, watch. For those boys.
And they'll be next year's Lions.
It has to be. It has to be a stronger fourth. They only went 3-14 last year, so it has to be a stronger fourth. There's no.
If it's 5, they're good. 5 wins. Woo!
Yeah. Look out! I agree. The Bears are coming. You know what I mean?
I agree with the second half of that. I disagree with the first half of it. I got the Lions coming in first. I actually got the Lions winning a division.
You think they're taking over Minnesota?
I think just barely. I think just barely. I think it's like a 10-7 type of thing. Mm-hmm. I could see them tying with Minnesota, just having the tiebreakers. I have them in Minnesota both making the playoffs. I have Green Bay just missing it. I have Love playing decent, just not good enough. Maybe finishing 8-9 with the Bears finishing maybe 7-10, something like that. Bears also on the heels of the third place team, but finishing fourth. So that's how I got that one breaking down.
Let me ask you this before you jump out of this conversation. This is specifically for you two gentlemen. and anybody listening, because we always get like that Thanksgiving game, super fun for us, but like the Detroit Lions notorious for playing that Thanksgiving's game, right? They play whoever. What has that been like over the past couple seasons, especially last season? Because last season was way different. They put up a show last season, but like seasons past, what is that like to watch? Yeah, like what is that like to have the family around? Because it's a big deal, man, and just watch a team, like knowing a team's just gonna flounder. Like, what is that, or what's the vibe?
It's usually my excuse to watch football. Either way, I watch it either way. Yeah, it's just an excuse to watch football after the parade is over with. It's always right after the parade that game comes on, and we put that game on and we watch that game. I believe they're usually the earlier game out of the two, usually. So, that's just my excuse to watch football. This sounds where it's not going to be. It's at least you're looking at either two bad teams or one team getting mollywopped, which was usually the Lions, and that's what you basically watched. But you knew going into it, it's not going to be great football. It's either someone's going to get killed or it's going to be two bad teams. But you watch it because it's your chance to watch football on a national spotlight. So we used to, in my house, we still watch the game every year. I don't know about Caleb. I don't know about you.
No, I mean, it's agreed. See, because I'm in the West Coast, so it comes on at 10 a.m. So it's like the very first game. It's when the food, when stuff is barely starting to get done, because my mom would always cook like the night before and stuff. So you could eat a little turkey, get some grains, get a little bit of, just a small little like a breakfasty sort of thing, and watch that game. So it was never the game that you really care about. It's just on. It's just an excuse to watch football. It's there. It's like, all right, cool. The games after are always way more important because they're always better. You know what I mean? Because Dallas usually plays and they're playing somebody that's good and, something like that. So that's always more. And then there's another one that comes on like that evening, and that would usually be Tom Brady and them. You know what I mean? Like
that's usually the game of the day is that late game that usually comes on, which is only added. They only added that game only a few years ago. That wasn't your traditional. It used to just be the two games, just
Detroit and Dallas.
Yeah, now they got that third game, which thank God for the third game, because that's always going to be at least preseason wise, it's going to be a decent game.
Yeah. So, but it's more tradition, is there. You don't expect the Lions to do anything. You just watch football and relax and prepare yourself for the next two games that you're excited about. That's pretty much it.
Sure.
But now, but this Thanksgiving shall be very different.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I predict it will be very different. I think that 10 a.m. game is going to be something we're going to be hyped to watch because it might actually mean something. Well,
every playoff implications.
It means something, and every game means something in the NFL, but it might really mean something depending on, I don't even know who the Lions play. Maybe Patty could pull up their schedule to know who they play on that Thanksgiving. But like, especially if it's an interdivisional game, it could be very important.
That could be, Could you imagine like them versus like Minnesota on Thanksgiving?
Come on, man. And they win. Or it's just a classic double overtime type game.
I mean, we all remember some good Dallas games on Thanksgiving. Remember one with was that the game where Leon Lett ran into it in the snow?
I think so. It might be.
Oh yeah,
it might be.
It was the block kick, and all they had to do was just let it go, and he just runs into it.
Yo, Leon Lett has had some. He did that. He's also in the Super Bowl. Showboat with the ball, and Don Beebe came up behind her. Yeah, like even though they had that game so far won, the Buffalo didn't have a shot, but still, you know what I mean? Like Leon Lett, special man. Oh, it's
Packers. That's going to be a good one.
Hey, that's going to mean something, you guys.
That's going to be a good one at that point in the season because I feel like Green Bay is going to be good all year. I feel like
it's going to be a spotlight on Jordan Love because it's a Thanksgiving game.
Yeah,
everybody's watching. So we're going to see who he really is, if he can handle pressure, because he's going to know. That's going to probably be the most televised game he'll get all season, unless he's in the playoffs or is balling out. You know what I mean? If he has a Brock Purdy season, then who knows?
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, let's move on to the NFC South. This is probably the hardest division to call, I got to imagine. Not great football down there in the South, but it's probably one of the hard divisions to call. Nigel, do you want to go first?
Yeah, which division we at?
And NFC South.
Oh boy, NFC South.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. Ooh,
Your stomach turns a little bit when you look at these teams.
Yeah, jeez. I'm just it's not even like I'm stalling. I'm just literally
have you guys seen that FanDuel commercial when the dude is in the Uber and he has the driver that just keeps talking and then he mentions
Justin
fantasy
Jefferson.
football and the guy's like, fantasy football? Oh my God. What are we talking? He's like, it's like that's what Nigel was like. He's like, oh my God, hold on.
Oh, okay. So this one I'm just gonna how am I going to play this? You know what? Okay, I'm just going to make some stuff up here because this division was wild. Last season, Buccaneers 8-9, Carolina, New Orleans, and Atlanta Falcons all had the same record at 7-10. So this is wild. This is ridiculous. So
that's a rough division.
Yeah, that's tough. Everybody
and they only have 7 wins because they play each other. So somebody's got to win those games. So. In any division, all these teams probably finish with like 3 or 4 wins.
Yeah, this is the most mediocre division, like literally and figuratively, that there is known to mankind in the state of football. So, winning this division, I'm going to go with I'm going to go New Orleans 1,
okay,
Atlanta 2. Those two can swap for me because I'm just not sure. There's just so many different factors in terms of where they are this season with the teams and their roster. So I guess it probably ends up coming down to defense, but I'll say New Orleans 1, Atlanta 2, and then between Carolina and the Buccaneers, man, I have a coin right here, and believe it or not, it's actually American. I'm gonna flip this, and let's put the Panthers as heads and the Buccaneers as tails. Let's do that. Okay, that's what we're doing right now. Okay. All right, so it's heads. So that means Tampa Bay 3, and then the Panthers are 4. That's just how I'm going to do it.
Scientific.
Yep, that's it, bro. That's it.
I'm a little different. I have Atlanta coming in first. I think Ritter's going to have a breakout season. I think this is the year. Not that he's going to be great.
Right.
Not great breakout in the sense that he'd be great, but breakout in the sense that he's going to at least be on the map. I think he's going to have a good season. He's got a lot of weapons, man. He's got a lot of weapons. Bijan Robinson's a fantastic weapon to have. Kyle Pitts, Drake London. He's got some fantastic weapons down there in Atlanta. And I think they have a decent enough defense that I think they can squeak by and win that division. I got New Orleans coming in second and also making the playoffs. So I got the New Orleans making the playoffs with Atlanta, but I have them just coming in second. I don't know. Their defense is fantastic. So the defense to me is the biggest part of that team. I don't know how Derek Carr, what is he gonna be? What we thought he could be? You know, there was some rough spots in Vegas. I guess now with Vegas, some rough spots in Vegas. He played well, but there was some rough spots. He's got some good receivers here, but there's gonna take a time for them to kind of get their stuff together. And also, too, what's up with the running game? Is Kamara I know they're gonna lose Kamara for a few games, and has Kamara lost a step? His game is based on speed and agility. He's not a spring chicken anymore. He's eventually going to have to lose a step, which is the point where you can be like, okay, he's not who he was. So I have them coming in second. I have them still winning a bunch of ball games, 9-10 games, and just squeaking into the playoffs. But I don't have them going far. The reason I have them just squeaking in is I just don't trust that offense enough yet. I don't trust Carr getting along with those fantastic receivers. But is Michael Thomas who we remember him to be? I don't know. We haven't seen Michael Thomas play in about 45 years. We haven't seen Kamara. You know, we're going to miss Kamara out for a little bit this year, and he's older now. I don't know if he's going to be able to carry that team the way he has in the past. So then after that, I have Carolina. I think that kid's going to be a hell of a quarterback. I didn't trust him at first, but the more I got to see a little bit of him in camp and everything else, I'm starting to like him a little bit. So I think he'll be decent down there in Carolina. I think enough to get him into third place. And Tampa Bay is going to be – listen, they won a Super Bowl a few years ago. It's going to be a long time before they win another one. It's going to be a rough year in Tampa Bay this year. So I have it going Atlanta, New Orleans, Carolina, Tampa Bay. Atlanta and New Orleans both making the playoffs. Caleb, what say you?
I mean, okay. I think the Saints win it. I don't think Atlanta's ready. I just played Atlanta in Madden yesterday, and they got smashed. I was like,
well, there you go.
But all jokes aside, I think I think Carr is more trustworthy than Ritter. I think Ritter, but I mean, I wasn't impressed in the preseason, but again, you can't put much stake in that. But I think the Saints should do it, right? I just think that strong defense, and I just think Carr is a better game managing quarterback, right? And so I think they should pull it out. I would have Atlanta number 2, and number 3, I'm gonna have to go with the Panthers over the Bucks. Even though I love Baker, I think he's hilarious. I can't wait for him to do more commercials. But I just think that dude in Carolina is gonna be able to do something. I don't know why, but I'm watching him. I know he's short. I know he's undersized, but just watching him and seeing like his ability and his desire, I think they'll pull out a 3 because I think the Bucks are in turmoil. I just think they're almost in a rebuilding state. Definitely. You know what I mean? And that's not good for Baker.
Well, that's why Baker's the quarterback there, is because they're rebuilding.
And he's also Baker wants to win, so he's gonna push the envelope. He's like a Brett Favre. He's gonna try to throw that ball, and that means they're gonna be available for interceptions more than normal because he's gonna be trying to make something happen. And that's where I think they'll fall into the hands of an Atlanta and also the Saints with those good defense. Well, Saints have the best defense in the division. I just think it's gonna be that, and then against anybody else that they may play. Come on.
And I feel like we're talking about a team that's like when we're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we're talking about a team that's going to be almost as dysfunctional as any team that we're going to see this season. Like it's going to be pretty bad because, to your point, Baker's going to want to push the envelope because that not only that's who he is, but he wants to show like, yeah, we just won a Super Bowl, or your franchise just won a Super Bowl last year. You know what? I can keep up with saving the face of this franchise. Not so much taking them to the promised land, but I mean, just like not falling below 500 or whatever. Like he's going to put out a huge effort, and he's been known to do that. And when he does that, he goes too far, and that's when the INTs happen. That's when the pick sixes happen, the really bad mistakes happen. Yeah. And then you have like Evans. We don't know what's up with that dude anymore, how he just feels about the team. Rashad White, Chris Goodwin, Trey Palmer. So you have these great these good receivers. Evans obviously leading the pack, but we don't know what their attitude is going to be like because you can see the body language. That's the worst part about being a receiver, is that when the ball is thrown and the camera follows the ball and it goes to the receiver, and then if it's just like out of vicinity, out of a radius of our arms, you can see us audibly, almost like physically just be like, oh, come on, man. Like you can see it, and then it's going to take them out of the game. They're barely going to be in every game. It's going to be interesting to watch.
They're going to be Arizona bad.
Oh,
yeah. Not as bad as Arizona. Arizona's got the number 1 pick, but they're going to be in that. Yeah. Like, with a couple weeks left, they'll be fighting for who's going to get the number 1 pick. It'll go to Arizona, but they're going to be that bad. 4 wins maybe. Like who can they? You look like who are they going to beat?
They'll catch somebody slipping.
They'll probably catch a couple of divisional games sleeping. But other than that, who are they going to beat? Who are they? Like it's gonna be you're playing somebody when they're not ready to play, and you catch them off guard,
or they're resting,
or they're resting players at the end of the year, and you sneak one out.
Yeah. So,
all right, on to the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year. I'll go first, man. I'm gonna go with a guy that to me is such an obvious choice. Justin Jefferson. I mean, does it get more explosive on offense than Justin Jefferson? So my Offensive Player of the Year, I go with Justin Jefferson. That's my pick of the year. What about you, Caleb?
Sam Darnold.
That's good. You know what? I wish I would. That's who I should have picked. You're right, Sam. I have him for Comeback Player of the Year. Listen, he's my comeback player of the year.
Definitely, but because he's actually, to all jokes aside, he actually was looking pretty good in preseason. The snaps that he got and the stuff he was doing, like. Yeah, so I'm not gonna front. Like, yeah,
he gets a chance. But listen, Purdy better be healthy because if he gives Sam a chance,
he's definitely gonna get a chance because there's gonna be a game where Purdy throws a couple picks, or they're just up and they're like, let's get Sam some reps. And if he go out there and ball, and they're like,
and then Purdy has some bad games. Listen, I'm not sold on Purdy either. I'm not sold on him yet.
He just had one good season. There's been a lot of players that had that, but couldn't back it up. But he's gonna get a nice check for that. You get paid.
He will.
That, but it doesn't mean anything. But I digress. I think it's gonna be a quarterback, right? Okay. I really do. And for that, I think I'm leaning towards Patty Mahomes or Jalen Hurts, just because of the numbers. He's gonna be able to run, pass, like all of that with a great team. Your numbers get padded, right? It's like I don't know. I think it will be a quarterback this season. And
if you had to pick one, though, you pick Mahomes.
Okay, if I pick one, I'm gonna have to go with Patty. No, you know what? No, I'm gonna take Hurts because of the run, because he's gonna have.
I was gonna say the same thing.
600 yards rushing and 20 touchdown passes.
The only thing you got to worry about is a lot of times you get quarterbacks that run. All of a sudden, they want to prove that they can throw, and they save the run. They don't run like they would have earlier in their career. Not because they're afraid to get hurt, but because they want to prove that they can be a pocket passer. I hope that doesn't happen to Hurts, because that's a big part of Hurts' game.
No. But it's not just that, though. The Eagles have the running back by committee style. Yeah. So the defense is going to have to play the run no matter what.
Yeah.
Right. So that's going to open up the passing lanes for him. Right. And because you don't know which one is going to get the ball, you can't just key on a Hurts. Right. If you do, you keep one player on Hurts and one on the running back. That puts 9 against their 11. So that means a tight end's going to be open, or one of those deadly receivers all the time if you're spying. Right. Yeah. So it's a nasty combination. It's what Chicago's going to be able to have, too. That offense is like that. Right. So if I pick one, I'm gonna go with Hurts. I'm gonna say Hurts would get it. Barring injury, Hurts should have it.
All right. Nigel?
But also let's talk about the fact that we're not talking about a Lamar Jackson, like someone who not so much as like run as part of their arsenal, but like when he runs, half the time he's scared, or half the time he's not reading the defense properly in the pre-snap, and then he's going to take off, which is a liability, because then you have your running back and your other players that are not only blocking for you, but your receivers running routes, and they're expecting the ball, and that doesn't happen. You can see the frustration there, right? So with Hurts, we're not talking about that, because Hurts is a lot smarter than that. Just in terms, he's not that kind of player. Just in terms of like he has great reads, and if he does run, it's literally, correct me if I'm wrong, like the last option. Like he'd rather either throw it out or do something. He's not like, I need to get those yards because of.
Yeah, he's not a first thought runner.
Yeah, because of the the media's out saying that I can't run. He's not that guy. Lamar is that guy. Lamar media say, oh, you can't run anymore. Then he'll go out and he'll have like a 200-yard running game. You know what I mean? Just because. Yeah. And they'll still lose. But I digress.
That's that Steeler fan in him.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, aggressive. Okay, so you guys knocked it out with a receiver. You knocked it out with a quarterback. I'm going to go the other way just to add to this conversation. I'm going to go running back, and I'm also going to go
a running back.
Yep, I'm also going to go. Yeah, because this has been the year of the running back.
Yeah, you ain't right about that.
Yeah. Christian McCaffrey.
Ooh.
Yep. If he can stay healthy, that's a great pick.
Yeah. Hey man, 100%. If he can stay healthy, that's why.
Is a good choice.
And that is why. Because when the trade happened, he immediately made an impact on that offense. Like immediately. Like the guy got traded, I think, I want to say on like a Friday, and he's suited up and playing, like starting on the Sunday at 1 a.m. Like it just Eastern. Like the guy is, so if he can do this from the beginning, week 1, stay healthy, this is going to be a problem for everybody, and he's going to have a banger of a season.
Yeah,
I can see that.
He's in a perfect place for him. He's in a perfect place.
Yeah, him and Darnold.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're welcome, Gene. You're welcome. I set you up for that. You're welcome.
Thank you, by the way. All right, so I got Jefferson. Caleb's got Hurts. Nigel has CMC. Yeah. All are going to be definitely in the talks, I think, for the player of the year on offense. If not, and hopefully we'll see one of those guys get it. Now, if you take it to defense, who is your defensive, Nigel? Who is your defensive player of the year?
Oh man, I feel like with the chatter, the way that we've all been leaning, the way that you guys have convinced me to lean, I'm going to go with Micah Parsons. The edge from the Dallas
I thought I was going to get TJ Watt.
That's where my heart and my brain wants to go for the sake of like, let's be real. I mean, I can make that argument that Watt, because
he's gonna be in the discussion.
There's no doubt he'll be top 3, without a doubt. But I think with the rejuvenated energy that the Cowboys have on defense and all the buzz around them, if Parsons just does his job. Mm-hmm. fantastic for him. I don't know about the rest of. Again, this is defensive player. We're not talking about the Cowboys as an organization or them as players or them as the offense. Just talking about Parsons. If he destroys, picks up those sacks, picks up those rushes, forced fumbles, and rushing the passer. I mean, yeah, man, like he could be the guy.
Kid's a beast. Kid's a beast.
That he is.
Caleb, what do you got?
You know what? I'm gonna go with Joey Bosa.
From the Chargers? The Charger Bosa.
No, Nick. Sorry, Nick.
Oh, well, Nick, maybe he's still holding out.
He'll be there.
That's why I like this interesting pick. Yeah.
But I like Nick Bosa. I think he can. He's ridiculous. And his brother Joey is nasty as well. It's going to be a Bosa. That's what I'll say. One of the Bosa boys.
One of them Bosa boys.
It's going to be a Bosa.
Like them Watts. Like them Watts. Ain't there 3 Watts?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Two really good ones.
Huh?
2 really good ones.
Yeah, and think about the Diggs family.
Yeah.
If I was them, I'd be playing against each other.
It's like the Gronkowski family. There was a couple of Gronkowskis in the league too at one point.
Wow, I didn't know that. But they obviously weren't at the level of Gronk, right?
No.
But Diggs, they're basically cancel each other out on either side. He is just as good as a corner as his brother is a receiver.
Yeah.
And you can talk about the Kelce's too.
Kelsey's,
but the Kelsey, he's a center. But that's still, but still. But it sucks because he's the center and he's
probably one of the best. He's probably the best center in the league.
And his brother, the fly white boy.
Yeah,
but all the black girls like him. He that white boy. You know
true, but the combo of their personalities and stuff is fantastic.
Completely
different. I know it's You're not wrong. But I mean, it's just the idea of him one, the center, the chunky one, and then the other one's like
your brother
flashy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? With the fade and the diamond studs and dating black girls, all that, playing with Patrick Mahomes. It's like he invited to Lil Wayne's concert. And stuff. You not.
Maybe you can get a +1.
It's just hilarious. You know what I mean? And then you won. You won the chip. You got the ring.
I'll tell you what, though. Did you see? Did anyone see the clip of him and his mom post Super Bowl during the celebration? And he go hang out with Trav, go celebrate with Trav. It was actually kind of sad. I felt bad for him. Here's his mom crying on his shoulder because they wanted to win. And he's like, you know what? And he was like, go hang out with Travis. Go. You don't have to be over here right now.
He's like, he's your favorite son anyway. You don't have to coordinate.
Get out of here, mom.
Listen, star tight ends make more than star centers, I'm sure. So I'm sure
they probably do. I'm sure they probably do.
But I'm sure Travis is top 3 center, if not the best center in the league, top 3.
Of course.
Travis is
not Travis. I'm sorry, Jason Kelce.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Jason can make a lot of money as a center.
So it'd be the best.
And he's an integral part to that offensive line. Without him, that it's all different. Yeah. But I digress. I think it's going to be Nick Bosa when he comes back.
All right.
I just do. And I think they're going to get this deal done.
I hope they do. For the sake of the 49ers, I hope they do, because he's important to that team, and he's important to the league because he's such a star player. You don't want to see a star, miss time.
Travis must have lost a bet because he has to wear this dumb mustache right now. So he had to have lost. Anybody that rocks the porn star, something happened.
I'm gonna go with Sauce Gardner, yo. I think. Listen, I know people are saying it's a homer pick, and maybe it is. I get to see him a lot, but there's also the aspect of him that he just shuts down your whole side of the offense. He's gonna take one side of your offense and completely shut it down.
We're going to see what he does because he got to play against the Bills first game.
He's played well against the Bills before.
Yeah, new season, new everything.
Yep.
I think the Bills got issues, but we're going to see if he can shut Diggs down.
I think he will. I mean, listen, Diggs will get a couple of catches, but I think throughout the course of the season, I think Sauce will be the defensive player of the year. I think he's too important.
That's ridiculous for a corner, man.
Listen, it's happened before. Woodson's done it before. I think,
of course, it's happened. You're talking first ballot Woodson,
Sauce Gardner, Woodson, Deion Sanders, Darrelle Revis, Sauce Gardner. He's that guy.
Look at the 3 names you said.
Yeah.
Like,
and Sauce Gardner has a chance to be as good as any of them, if not better.
oh no,
he is
absolutely.
him. So I'm gonna go with Sauce Gardner as my pick for the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. So guys, let's switch. We got a couple more predictions to make, and then we'll get out of here. And then, like I said, Thursday we start getting into debatable topics again. So we'll start talking about we'll have more debates come Thursday. But let's go to our AFC Championship game. Who's going to be the AFC champion this year, Caleb?
Oof, God, the gauntlet.
Right now, we're picking our two championship teams and our Super Bowl team right now.
All right, you know what? I'm going to go the complete opposite direction than what most people would say. Most people would say the Chiefs. Most people would say the Bengals. I think I don't trust homeboys, so I can't say them, even though they got the team to do it. But I'm gonna go with that bad man in New York. I'm gonna go with Aaron. I love Aaron Rodgers. I do. I love when he told that dude on the Giants, "I don't even know who you are."
Yeah.
Who are you?
Said, and then that guy tried to play himself by saying, "Well, I don't know you either."
I don't know who you are. Aaron said, "Yeah, right."
You're right.
Aaron should have said, "Ask your mama."
I love that pick. I love the Jets pick, man. I personally, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I because they got a lot of pressure, but the fans hype. The league doesn't think so. The league thinks they're like, yeah, right. We're gonna beat these dudes. The Chiefs they're not fearing the Jets. Neither are the Bengals. Like the Bills aren't like the teams are like, we got them. That's why I think it's gonna be something. Because I really think quarterbacks are the difference makers in the league. Once you have teams that basically offset each other, the quarterback is everything. And I think Aaron Rodgers is better than all those other quarterbacks. Yes, I get Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal, but I think Aaron Rodgers can perform on that level and can make those decisions where in a game you can end up winning in that fourth quarter drive when the team is up, Chiefs are up, 10-6 on you, and you have to score. You can't get a field goal. You got to score, and there's 90 seconds on the clock. I trust Aaron Rodgers to go down there and make something happen with those teams versus a Zach Wilson. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to go with that. And the team I was talking about was Miami. I just don't trust Tua can maintain through the season. I just don't. I just really don't. He's the one quarterback I don't see making it through the season.
All right.
So because of that, they can't win without him. They should have got Trey Lance. You know what I'm saying?
It's not a bad idea. It wouldn't have been a bad idea, to be honest with you. Like, if you don't really know what your future is at quarterback because you don't know, but you got to also send a message that you believe that he's going to be healthy. So maybe that's why.
I understand that, but I'm just saying personally. So again, I'm going to go with the Jets. I really like the Browns. The Browns are, but I don't know who Deshaun Watson is yet.
Yeah.
I know who that team is, but I don't know who he is. If he's still going to be that guy. I can't go with the Ravens because I don't trust Lamar in those situations. I think he'll try to run instead of pass in the crucial moments. And that is all the difference, so I don't know, but I'm going to go with the Jets.
I'm personally going to go. I would love to be able to go with the Jets. I don't know if it's me just not wanting to jinx my team.
No, I get it. Yeah.
I can't pick them.
That's why I've been talking about the Eagles. Like, I get it.
I'm going to go chalk. I know it's chalk, but I also want to be right. So like, I'm going to go Chiefs, but again,
it's come on.
But I want to be right. I want to be. It is the easy pick, but that's because they are the team. I just can't see if it's not the Jets. I think it's going to come down to them and the Jets in the AFC Championship game, and I think the winning pedigree is just there. I just think that they know what it takes to win that game, to be able to. The Jets following year, Jets might be able to pull that game out under the year with Aaron Rodgers. I just think the Chiefs. I just can't see anybody beating them, push come to shove in that championship game. I just don't see them losing. You guys will probably make fun of me for all my picks at this point forward because they're all pretty much strong. So we'll say that. But Nigel, who do you have going to the Super Bowl in the AFC?
Listen, I'm just going to get right to it. I'm going to be that guy as well. I think it's going to be the Chiefs, man. I get it. You can stand out and stick up and say some crazy team, or you could be right and say the Chiefs. But here's the thing. It's like I love the argument that Caleb's put forward
Yeah,
and I love the support that Gene is going to give you for that, because I do think you're right. I do think Aaron Rodgers is going to make such a difference for the Jets long term, which is 2 seasons. But like, I do feel like that's going to be a huge thing for them, and I think it's the adjustment period. I think towards the end, when it comes to the playoff run, they're going to be amazing, like a well-oiled machine. Everything's going to come together. It's going to take a couple weeks. I mean, they got to start out the gate though, because with week 1, they're playing the Bills week 1, right?
Yes.
I mean, week 1, it's like also everybody's got to go all cylinders. That both of those teams have
well,
so
you
much.
only got 17 games, so you don't have 82.
Yeah, but like when you start out on top, like when you start on the top, it's not like they're playing like Jacksonville or like the Colts.
NFL knows what they're doing.
100%.
They're getting all they can out of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, right. So, but again, to Gene's point, it's like, and as much as I've watched the Chiefs, I've watched them for a very long time, because I said my bestie, he's a Chiefs fan. You see the development, you see where they're at now. Just the way that Mahomes plays, man, and just like the confidence and the no fret, and everybody chills. Like, sure, Mahomes been rattled the last season, especially, was probably the most we've ever seen him kind of off his game and panic a little bit when push came to shove, especially when we got down to the Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, they still won, and I still think that they're the team
they got the pedigree
to beat. Yeah.
They're definitely the team to beat. I get it. Yeah. But I think a lot of teams in the AFC have caught up. Like, agreed. I think the Chargers are going to play them a whole lot better than what the Chiefs are expecting this season.
Agreed.
Oh, it's going to be a grind. Yeah.
And that can change something. Where last season they won both games, now they only win one. They split it. Now that changes your positioning, because now you may not be playing in Arrowhead for the AFC Championship, right? Which changes everything. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I feel like teams in the AFC are catching up, and they really want to beat them. And they don't have the same firepower that they used to. Those receivers are not that. Travis Kelce is the best offensive player on that team outside of Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And when teams know that, they key on them. And they're going, I don't know. So I'm excited to see it. And I think there's way more competition at the quarterback position. So now the defenses are playing against the best quarterbacks every week. Listen, they got one of the top 10 QBs in the league playing against, you know, and they don't have their boy, Chris, what's his name? He's holding out like Nick Bosa.
Oh, Chris Jones.
Yeah, Chris Jones. He wants his money. Travis Kelce called him and he was like, nah, Hemi, unless you're trying to run some of yours. Yeah. If you're trying to run some of yours, I'll show up tomorrow. Travis was like, gear down, big shifter. Gear down.
But you know, the crazy part is too, is like, I have all the teams in front of me. And when you look at the AFC, you look at the conference, the top 2 teams from each division, barring AFC South, there's really only one team, but the top 2 from the East, North, and West. And then you can even go 3 you can go 3 or 4 teams in some of those divisions, which is the whole division. Is
in your division.
It's wild to think of. So I mean, it's not far fetched for you to drop the Jets on us and be like, listen, I think the Jets are it, because it's fine, because you're right. Everybody has caught up. Everybody literally has gotten that much better in this conference, and it's wild to think of that. Like, this is going to be a shootout, and it's going to be awesome.
It's also because the quarterbacks, this conference has never seen this many great quarterbacks.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. It's wild, man.
Think about this. What if Denver is better this season? What if Sean Payton is really that dude?
It could happen.
And Russ starts cooking again with that team that we already thought was had a shot to dethrone the Chiefs, but it was Russell's play that was like, oh, hell no, right? But they still got the same team. Well, Jerry Jeudy is injured. Wow, that's terrible. But again, the point is, what if Denver plays good? That changes everything. Yeah. What if they beat the Chiefs one game? What if they split with them? Like, all that stuff changes the landscape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could be playing in Orchard Park or in Jet Life Stadium, as I heard Aaron call it.
I like it.
Stuff has changed. You know what I mean? And if Tua is healthy, listen, you might be down in sunny Miami, because that offense, nobody has an offense that fast. Nobody does. Like, man. So I think it's up for grabs.
I think it's a lot of good teams. I think when a push comes to shove, though, in that AFC Championship game, it's going to probably be played in Arrowhead, and they're going to just have the pedigree to win it.
Hey,
that's my thought on it.
Your boy Sauce got to show up because
he's got to, but he might not even be enough.
Every week, no, he's not going. He can't guard their best receiver, which is a tight end. That's not.
You never know. You might see him get put over there.
Could you imagine? No, he is not lining up in the box because they use Kelsey for blocking and shit.
Well, they might. But when they put him out wide, they might put Sauce on him at that.
But here's this though. I don't think Sauce can do it. Kelsey's too big. Like his size.
Sauce is a big corner though. But Sauce is a big corner.
I don't mean height. I mean like
girth.
Yes, it's a different thing. It's like
I hear what you're saying.
It was what happened when Shaq and Dikembe Mutombo when the Sixers played the Lakers. It's like Mutombo's tall, but Shaq had 120 pounds on him. Dikembe was like, getting knocked everywhere, but just you know what I mean? There's something different, and they're gonna let Kelsey give you a little bit of this.
Yeah, there's gonna be physical.
Yeah. And that Sauce is light in the ass.
Yeah. Let me ask one question here because I'm very curious. I've been thinking about this because all of our teams are in the AFC. First of all, it's a two-part question. Okay, so I need each of you guys to answer this question, and I will answer as well. And then, so Gene, if you were to play football, if you were in the NFL, what position would you play?
Corner.
Okay, great, corner. Caleb, what position would you play if you were in the NFL?
Probably a safety or slot receiver.
Okay, great. I'm going to play receiver for sure. Now, receiver and special teams returner. And now my question is, Gene, and so I'll ask you first, Caleb. I'll go reverse. If you were third string, you made the 53-man roster, which team would you want to be hype man for? Because there's a very slim chance of your play. You're still on the roster, but you're like third string. So which team would you want to be, knowing that your safety or that knowing your position? What team would you want to be hype man for? Oof. You're not a starter. You're on the bench.
You know what? I'm gonna say I would want to be hype man for the Bills.
Yeah.
I like Josh Allen. I like that ruggedness. I think he is an amazing QB. I like Stephon Diggs. I like Jordan Poyer. He's got the finest chick in the NFL. I don't care what nobody say. I don't even know how he keeps that girl as fine as she is. I know everybody.
I gotta go down. Now I know what I'm Googling after this show.
You haven't seen Rachel Bush? His woman, Rachel Bush?
I don't know who he was with.
Jeans.
That's all.
Go to Instagram and type in Rachel Bush, and it will have a blue check, and you're welcome.
You're going to type in RA, and the rest of it will just put in Rachel Bush.
It'll just pop up.
That's his girl.
It'll be the first hit.
That is his girl for a few seasons.
All right.
And Jordan, he fly. He make money. He handsome brother, got blue eyes and all that. So I know he fly. But man, everybody wants it. I'm sure Bill Clinton is in her DMs.
Okay, so you're the Bills. All right. So Gene, who's a team that you'd be hype man for? Because don't forget, you're not a starter, man. You're like barely second, maybe you're third for sure.
I would still say the Jets. Who better to learn from two fantastic corners, Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. You get to learn from them too, and you get to watch those guys. And I it's also, they're so good. I wouldn't feel like, okay, I'm being a little mistreated being a sub. I could go there knowing, okay, I might not deserve to start. I'm behind two of the best in the business right now.
Yeah.
And I think I wouldn't look at like who I'd want to be like the cheerleader for, because I think no matter where I went, I would cheer my team. But I think where would I want to learn? What would I learn the most from playing behind? And I think I learned the most from playing behind DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner.
Okay. That's a good.
And what about yourself?
Good.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I'm about that Miami Dolphins squad as a receiver. I'm like, give me those dudes. Like, give me, the Cheetah. Give me these guys that I'm just straight up hype with. Like for me, it's like, then let me go to the University of Miami games because I can, I feel like
the Waddle.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
Waddle,
that
Hill,
dude is ridiculous.
Wilson Jr. Like, I'm just like, I'm partying and we're living it up, and we're doing the thing.
On South Beach.
Yeah, South Beach. Sure, man. I'd learn from them, but I think the party is what I'd be about if I got drafted or if I got
Especially
traded
if
to
you're
them.
in third string. I ain't playing Sunday. What's going on?
Until you get that call, like what was the movie? Any Given Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's
Give me that IV real quick.
Throw it right on the field. Throw your Doritos right on the field.
Yeah,
That's
let's
right.
go for it. But yeah, I was just curious to see like what I love all the answers. You guys gave me a little piece of just something different, which is fun. Cool. That's all. Just a little sidebar.
So let me return the question to you. Who's your NFC champion?
Jeez. Okay. This one not as tough as our AFC conversation.
Not as deep.
Yeah, not nearly as deep. Who would it be, man? I think the champion is going to be, and I was thinking about this earlier. I feel like it's going to be the Minnesota Vikings.
You think the Minnesota Vikings are going to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's a big call.
Yeah, I'm going to go there because I know. I mean, listen, I know the easy answer.
For Sam Darnold? You know something I don't know? Like,
listen, on the AFC, I already went with the easy answer, quote unquote.
Okay.
So NFC, I'm like, let me zag on them, and I think it's going to be the Vikings. And I think what happens is like San Fran makes it as far as they can, but I think it's just one stupid decision. I shouldn't say stupid. That's not fair. I think it's just one bad decision in terms of like a play call or something that ends up losing it for them. And I think the Vikings make it, man. I think they make a little resurgence to their form, to top form.
Wow. What about you, Caleb?
Well, I'm going with my team. And even though I know it's the easy answer, but it's my team. It's been my team, so it doesn't matter, right? So it's going to be the Eagles, and I can't pick another team. But I will say this. It wouldn't surprise me if it was the 49ers. It's going to be one of them. It ain't going to be nobody else because nobody's going to – I don't see anybody beating either one of those teams. Again, barring injury, everybody, that they beat either one of them. I think it's going to be a rematch in the NFC Championship. And I think we win it again. But if the Niners did, I wouldn't be surprised. But it's going to be one of them. But I'm saying the Eagles because it's my squad.
So I love what the Eagles did this offseason. They killed it in the draft. They got better on offense. They got better on defense, even after losing players. San Francisco got better too, though, on offense and defense.
They got a couple of our guys.
Hargrave. They got a couple of your
They
guys.
got Hargrave and somebody else. I forgot who, but it's one more, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's going to come down to the NFC Championship game. Is going to be San Francisco and Philly. And what I think is going to happen is I think Sam Darnold will be the starting quarterback at that point. No laughs. Me being serious.
Here we go.
And I think it'll be just a little too much for the Eagles to take care of. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to see Sam Darnold win that game. It's going to be one of the best.
Fourth quarter drive, 98-yard drive, 2 minutes left.
Maybe something. Well, it could be the snow because it could be in Philly. I'm not saying that it won't have home field advantage. I think it's going to be one of the. All kidding aside, though, I think it's going to come down to San Francisco and Philly in one of the best NFC Championship games we've seen.
Yeah,
which the game we should have got last year.
Yep, I agree.
Which we were robbed of because of injuries. It'll be that game this year, and I think San Francisco just edges out Philly just by a hair with Sam Darnold as a starting quarterback. And then I'll go right into my pick for the Super Bowl. I have San Francisco winning the Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I do too. If they play the Chiefs, I do too.
I think the Chiefs lack a little bit on as good as Mahomes and Kelsey are. I think they're going to miss not having a stud receiver. I think that's going to hurt them a little bit.
They would have lost last year if the ref would have kept the calls consistent. And I know if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. But what I mean is throughout the game, they weren't calling those things. And then they call it on a play that meant the game. Like, that's crazy to me. So they would have lost that one. You know what I mean? So I definitely see Frisco beating them if they got there. I got
San Francisco winning the Super Bowl this year with Sam Darnold as their quarterback, winning the MVP.
Oh my God!
Winning the not the league MVP, but winning the
No,
comeback
the
player of
Super
the year
Bowl
and the Super Bowl MVP.
He gets the Dodge truck and the free trip to Disneyland.
He gets them both.
He'll probably ask you to go with him because you called it early.
I gotta tell you what,
better.
I'd be really offended if he doesn't. If I'm not one of the first calls he gets, I better get a call from the field.
I tell you this.
I got to get my Sam. I'm going to be getting my Sam Darnold San Francisco jersey.
Yeah, you should. That's
I'm going to have to get it.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, and it's going to be a real popular jersey because isn't this number 14?
Yes,
it's going to be a real popular number in the northern side of California for different reasons, not for anything to do with sports, but that's a very street gang sort of thing.
Is it really?
What?
So he might end up. Maybe it's meant to be.
Okay. So in California, the Mexican gang culture is divided. There's Southern Mexicans and then there's Northern Mexicans. The Southern Mexicans use the number 13, 1-3. So when Jay Schrader was the quarterback for the Raiders, it was 1-3. All the essays wore that because it wasn't about the Raiders. It was, but it's more about the 13, the number, right? Yeah. Representing their thing. The Northerners wear the number 14. So behind all of their gangs, they use an X and a 4. So Sam Darnold's 14. Red? Because their color is red on the north.
Yeah.
What? That thing is set. You won't be able to buy it. You'll see. You'll be like, why all these Mexican cholos got 14? That's why. It's not about it's number for the team, but the majority is.
You might say, how big of a Darnold fan are you? And they'd be like, okay, because they won't have any idea who Darnold is.
No, they'll know. They'll be like, yeah, we love the Niners, but it's also for the neighborhood, fool.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
But I digress. But I tell you this, though. One thing I love. And I know they're going to do me another solid because those Niners never let me down. They're going to beat them Dallas boys 3 times in a row. And I'm going to laugh.
They're going to need to.
Love it.
Yeah.
They will.
Listen, I work for San Francisco a little bit. One of my best friends on the whole planet, Joey D, is a San Francisco fan. As a matter of fact, they're having a baby. And they just announced it recently. So what do you do when one of your best friends on the whole planet is a San Francisco fan? What do you do for their baby? You buy them a bunch of Jets gear for the baby. That's what you do.
Yeah, 100%.
I didn't send any San Francisco 49er clothes. I sent all baby. I sent infant Jet gear. So now they have no choice, but he's coming into the Jet Nation, right from birth. I sent stuff all the way up until he's a year old. So he's got stuff from like 0 to 3, 6 to 9, and he's even got stuff for when he's 12 months old. So that first year, that he's got an outfit to wear for the Jets until he's 1. So too bad. But that's what you do when your buddy's a 49er fan. What do? You send him Jets gear for his baby. There you go.
Yeah, that's okay because they don't have no real rivalry. If you would have sent Seattle or something like that, he'd have been upset.
Or the Rams. Like, he's not a big Ram. Yeah, he hates Seattle. He hates the Rams.
That's like sending an Eagles fan their baby Dallas gear. Woo!
Yeah, that's not even a funny joke. You know, at that point, at that point, now you're calling your whole friendship into question. You know what I mean? Whenever you see the rivalry, it's like, all right, listen, man. Like,
Nigel, what would you do if you got so if I sent you Raven gear?
Yeah.
Your turn.
I'll tell you this: you wouldn't see me on the pod next Thursday. I'll tell you that much.
Do you own any? Do you even own a Raven hat?
No, but you know what I do own. I do own a Cincinnati Bengals hat, and the reason why I own it is because a couple hat companies start dropping this logo, which is the illustrated cat that kind of looks like the Calvin and Hobbes, like Hobbes. It looks like the cat, like and his full body. And it looks drawn. It's old school, man, and it's so beautiful. It's corduroy. It's so beauty. And I was like, I think I got to get this hat, man, because at the end of the day, I'm also a logo guy. Don't forget I'm a graphic designer, so I also appreciate a good logo and a good design on a hat. It just sucks that it's like in the division, in the conference, like one of my like rivals. But that's the only other. I believe that's the only other NFL team hat that I own. Other than the Jets hat that I'm gonna have to get, right?
We have to our worst rivalries, right? Our team's worst rivals. So for me, it's Dallas, right?
Yeah. Oh God.
If we have to each buy either a jersey, shirt, hat, something of that team, and if our team loses, we got to wear it on the pod. And that's gonna be. I'm gonna be. Infuriated.
I hate this.
And you can't not come to the pod. Or if you can't because of some real reason, cool. The next pod. You gotta wear, you gotta honor it, right?
Can you picture Caleb in a Dak jersey?
No,
oh, God,
gross. No,
I might wear it inside out.
That don't
No,
count.
but you gotta wear it. You gotta wear it normal. Like we should do that. Our worst rivalry. So whoever the Jets' worst rivalry is.
I don't know who their worst rivalry is, but the team I hate the most is the Giants.
There you go.
Their worst rivalry is probably Patriots, but I hate the Giants the most.
Or the Bills now.
I still hate the Giants more.
Yeah.
I hate the Giants. So
and the Steelers, we know it's the Ravens for y'all.
Yeah, it's just it. And you know what sucks is that because I'm a University of Miami fan, like go Hurricanes, it's like so many of the Ravens like blockbuster defensive talent specifically is from the U, and I'm just
Ray Lewis, my boy Ed Reed, who I think is slept on as one of the great. I think he's top 3 safety of all time,
easily.
Yeah,
but it's so hard.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people put other people in front of them, but I love Ed Reed.
Gosh, wearing purple and black. Whatever, man. Can we just move on?
Let's move on. So, Caleb, what's your pick for the Super Bowl?
Oh gosh, I think it's Eagles and Jets.
Who wins?
It's a green day.
It's a green thing.
Green Day in February.
It's a green day in Vegas.
Oh,
yes.
The color of money in Vegas.
Who do you have winning it though?
You know who I have winning it. I gotta go with the Eagles.
The Jets.
Even though I love Aaron Rodgers, I'm gonna be like, come on, boys, I need you to get to his ass today. And the Jets' Achilles heel is that offensive line. It's the only thing that is questionable. Now they seem to have improved, but
I think offensive line will be okay. I think we're gonna surprise some people that the offensive line's gonna be better than people thought. But,
I think it's definitely going to be better because they want to improve. They get called out too much, right? So there's a desire, but the desire and the ability are two different things, especially when you're going against the Eagles. Got a line, a defensive like they got 3 dudes that are problems. You know what I mean? Like that's hard, and blitzing linebackers.
And they added in the draft. They added young talent in the draft, so
that's what I'm saying. Like, and you got linebackers that like Riddick, number 7. That dude is it's bad. It's bad. So if they get there to the Super Bowl and they're playing the Jets, they bet the Jets. Woo, like it's coming. They coming.
Nigel, what do you got for the Super Bowl?
Oh boy, I'm gonna go with Chiefs. I'm gonna stand by it. Vikings, I don't know why. I just feel because the Vikings were within there. I think they had the same record as San Fran at the end of the day, and I think they were 1 below the Eagles at the end of the day.
I think they were 13-4 last year, right?
Yeah. So, I feel like a Vikings Chiefs win by like a field goal. That's what I have in Vegas. I think it's going to be another one of those like low watched Super Bowls. Like not a lot of people are going to watch a Super Bowl this year if it's teams like that. That's what I'm going to say.
Really? There you go. All right. Well, there you go. There's our predictions for the season, man. I'm a little surprised that Nigel's putting the Vikings in there, but I'll tell you what. Listen, could happen, right? Could happen.
It's a weird flex. Who knows?
It is a definitely weird flex. So, guys, make sure you tune in on Thursday. We'll be back to our debate topics, man. So we'll talk a little bit about Dak, a little bit about some breakout wide receivers, some breakout quarterbacks. We'll talk a little bit about Colorado entering the world of college football. Like, where were they? They're here now. So we'll be talking a little bit about them next week, on Thursday. You say next week on Thursday. They didn't crush them, but they looked like they were on their way to crushing them at one point.
Mm-hmm.
TCU's played strong. Listen, that's a great team over there on TCU. They were a championship team, not the same team that played in the championship. I get it, but still a fantastic team nonetheless. And I'll tell you what, if you don't believe in Colorado, you might have to start believing in them soon. But we'll talk a little bit about them on Thursday as well. I guess let's go around. Let's do our last words. Nigel, last words of the day.
Oh man, I hate the idea of wearing anything Ravens. I cannot stand it. So what I'm going to do is think about the 2 interactions I had with parking enforcement this morning, 2 different ones. Both of them let me off. I did not get a ticket. I had a great conversation with both of them, which was shocking. And that set the tone for today. Soured by Caleb's, I need to wear Baltimore Ravens apparel if my Steelers lose them, but it's not going to change my outcome of the day. It's been fantastic. So you know what? I'm going to browse. I'm going to gently browse to see if I need to buy a Ravens hat today.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Football season is getting ready to start. First game Thursday night. Exciting. Ready to go. This whole weekend is going to be nothing but popcorn. I'm so excited to see everything. I'm praying that the New York G-Men beat those boys from Dallas. Just for me, that's the only game y'all need to win this season. You can go 1-16, well 1-15 for all I care. Win that one, and that would just set my life so good. So spread love is the Brooklyn way, baby. See y'all on Thursday.
Guys, have a great today and better tomorrow. We'll see you on Thursday.
That's the pop-off for today, folks. Thank you to all of our listeners, as well as our producers, Patty Puddles and Fareed Kameo. And make sure you tune in tomorrow to hear what these hooligans will pop off about next.